Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. So today we have invited ISERI Sensei for the seminar about the international tourism policy of Japan and the challenges for Kumamoto. So ISERI Sensei is written here. He is a former professor of Kumamoto University and former editorial writer for the Kumamoto daily newspaper. But ISERI Sensei, as many of you know, HICO program started in 2012, and ISERI Sensei has been a member of steering committee from that time, and he has guided us in this managing program in various areas, and also ISERI Sensei was organizing business internship in Kumamoto newspaper for 5 years. So, and he has almost 3 decades experience of writing in Kumamoto and other newspapers about the globalization of Kumamoto, and especially about the Minamata disease and metabolic problem. So we think it's a pleasure to hear from him today. And he said he will give lecture in English. So please listen carefully and please give your questions and comments. Please, ISERI Sensei, please.
Hello everyone. My name is ISERI. Today I'm going to talk about the international tourism policy of Japan and the challenges for Kumamoto. So today is the third day. You must be tired, no? Are you enjoying the seminar? It's okay. I speak slow English. My Japanese student also can. So my wife said that she doesn't understand native speakers' English, but she understands my English. It's really hard to understand native speakers' English. I sometimes attend the United Nations meeting in abroad, but each country's people has speak about own accent English. So it is very important to talk about English, even if the pronunciation is not so fluent. So I'm going to talk about today the globalization of Kumamoto and the national policy of Japan. So I'm going to give you about 1 hour talk about the national tourism policy of Japan. Japan moves so slowly with regard to internationalization. So your experience in Kumamoto is very important. I want to ask your experience. What is the problem? What is the good suggestion to Kumamoto local government and stakeholders in Kumamoto? So I'm going to introduce my background. My name is ISERI, Michikazu ISERI. I graduated from the Keio University in Tokyo, and I studied at the University of California at Berkeley, UCB, and then after finishing university, I joined the Kumamoto daily newspaper. You may know the name of Kumamoto Nichi Shinbun. I worked for about 40 years, a newspaper reporter and editorial writer. Mainly I wrote about globalization of Kumamoto, Kyushu, and the latter half of my life, I focus on Minamata disease and the mercury issue. Because United Nations made a mercury treaty, so I cover that kind of international related issue for our newspaper.
Since I just started. No problem.
Just started,
don't
so
worry.
don't worry.
It's okay.
This is very hard to find. I was proud. So 2007, 2023, I worked as a professor of journalism at Kumamoto University, Faculty of Law and Faculty of Medicine. After finishing professor job, I moved to a visiting professor at the HIGO program. Especially, I make a role of the instructor of the Kumamoto internship, Kumamoto daily newspapers internship. I give a lecture at the Kumamoto daily newspaper. Now I'm a lonely part-time lecturer now. I used to be a professor, now lonely part-time lecturer. a lecturer at the Faculty of Medicine. And my main theme is mercury pollution in the world. Okay. So the purpose of this seminar is what a challenge for Kumamoto to be an international tourist city. Kumamoto's issues are common to many regional cities in this country. So there are two Japanese, how many Japanese students? Raise your hand.
Three.
Japanese student. Where are you from? Kumamoto?
愛媛？
あ、どこから来ました？どこの県ですか？熊本？熊本出身の人。
いない。
あ、大分。お、湯布院。How about you？
あ、愛媛です。
愛媛。あ、愛媛。はい。
鹿児島です。
鹿児島。お、ナイス。Even if the Japanese student, newcomers from other prefecture to Kumamoto, maybe they can compare with your own prefecture and Kumamoto city. Maybe Ehime or Kagoshima is more internationalized in some aspect. So, after finishing this lecture, I give you, we move to a discussion time. So you can divide it two groups and discuss 15 minutes divided into two groups. Then you have to select one student and give presentation here. Okay? And the question and answer. Okay. So please look at this yellow very old newspaper article. This is my first newspaper article, byline article. This is a byline. My name is. This is the front page of the evening issue of Kumamoto Daily newspaper in 1980. Maybe 25 years old or something. This is a really memorial newspaper article for me. After coming back from the United States and I could speak English, so I had a many interview with the overseas people in Kumamoto. This is in front of the Tsuruya department, in front of Hotel Nikko. This is an American student, 19 years old. He worked, he studied Japan and also judo. This person is me, I'm interviewing. And I had an interview with 15 non-Japanese in Kumamoto about the impression of Kumamoto on the globalization. So this is the point overseas people said in about 40 years ago. Why isn't there an English information board in the city? There is no information desk for overseas people in Kumamoto. Town name and streets name are not written in Roman letters. Japanese restaurants don't have English menu. Kumamoto had better recommend to preserve more old buildings. Create a green space in downtown inside Kumamoto city. The 15 people advised Kumamoto people to change more comfortable city in Kumamoto. So 40 years passed. What do you think? Please remember these things. You can compare present situation. By the way, this is the history of globalization of Japan as far as tourism. This is the Kumamoto Daily newspaper carried Kyodo news article. 1964 Tokyo Olympics. This year is the Japan's liberalization of travel abroad. Japanese people could not go to abroad until 1964. Okay? And 1970, Osaka World Exposition. I went there. I was a high school student. I went there with my mother. And I spoke in English First time I spoke with the Canadian people in English, so that's really my good memory. 1979, 1978, Narita International Airport opened. 1979, first issue of 地球の歩き方, How to Walk the Earth. 1990, overseas travelers of Japanese exceed 10 million a year. Kansai International Airport opened. Haneda Airport, new international terminal opened. This is the history of Japan tourism. Well, do you know this one person, like very interesting hairstyle? Koizumi. You know Koizumi, Prime Minister Koizumi, very famous. So, Japan's internationalization started in 1964. So during this time is what we call outbound period. Japanese went abroad. 2003, since 2003 inbound, welcome to Japan. Japan invited, maybe to invite many overseas people to Japan. So Mr. Koizumi started Visit Japan campaign 2003. 日本語ではようこそ日本へっていうね。Prime Minister Juichiro Koizumi made effort to welcome overseas travelers. And the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe also welcomed Visit Japan campaign. He worked as the Prime Minister second time. So 2012, 2020, he also made effort to welcome. Then he was assassinated. So a target to increase the number of overseas tourists to Japan, 10 million in 2010. This was the Japan's then target. 2001, overseas tourists visiting Japan, only 5 million per year. Japanese overseas travelers, 16 million per year. So inbound is so small, outbound is very big. Okay? 2001, World Trade Center, New York. Terrorist attack was happened. This is the New York Times article, newly released aerial photograph taken by the New York City Police Department, show the collapse of the World Trade Center for a different angle. So Japan and the world are very excited to go abroad for travel, international traveling. At the time, suddenly this tragedy happened. The number of the international travelers decreased dramatically. How old were you? How old were you at that time? How about you?
I went to first grade of junior school.
Junior, okay. 何歳でした？富澤君。小笠原君いるから、いくつでしたこの事件があったとき？2001年。2歳か。2 years old. Okay. So the next year, 2002, American Newsweek magazine issued this cover story, The Future of Travel. At that time, I found this cover stories Newsweek at the Tokyo station because I was based in Tokyo office of Kumamoto Daily newspaper. I was covering national diet or national politics or that kind of related to Kumamoto. Then this cover story was very attractive, so I bought it. Later, all the issues were translated in Japanese version. Then the title is The Future of Travel. Future of Travel. the 21st century will be an era of great tourism. So the world is very, how do you say, that feeling, so Newsweek issued this time. And this is the Newsweek cover stories, sum up of the World Tourism Organization. So, this is the cover stories, getting off the beaten track. The world tourists are starting to visit more unusual places and in more unusual ways than they ever have before. わかりますかね？これまでと違った旅をする。More and more people will be traveling in a different way than before. Getting off the beaten track. 踏み鳴らされた道から降りるという意味ですけれども、これまでと違った旅をするというふうに訳せます。So, one traveler will go to very unusual places, like deep sea or to space. They forecast it in 2001. Okay? And changing the future of tourism, cover story. Horseback riding experience in the grassland rather than in the skyscrapers of the city. From group travel to individual travel. Traveling by train, passenger ship, or rent a car. Travelers go to faraway places, Africa, Middle East, Japan, Malawi. Go to North Pole, South Pole, to deep sea, to space. Then this chart is also very interesting. Where tourists come from? Number one is China. Number one is China. Japan, China, Russia. And where they will go? Okay. East Asia, Pacific, South Asia, Middle East, Africa. です。当たってますよね。They love to go to unusual places. And this cover story said that the recovery from the September 11 is faster than expected. The reasons are several reasons. People get rich. Online information and reservation. Airplane tickets get cheaper by LCC, low-cost carrier. Liberalization of international flight progresses. Evolution of transportation, such as aircraft. Aircraft fly faster than faster. The number of tourists in the world will increase to more than 1 billion by 2010. So, Japan have to move. In Beppu, Oita Prefecture, 2005, I went there because I found a very small article on Nihon Keizai Shimbun, Japan Economic Journal. Very small article. International Student Summit on tourism will be held in Beppu, Oita Prefecture. So I asked my editor-in-chief, I have to go. I want to cover this story. This is a very good experience for me. Japanese government anyway started to move. The very important thing is that the IFIN, the sponsored APU University, welcomed various countries, international students, Asian country, mainly Asian country, and also Western countries. But come to Beppu, but not come to directly to Oita Airport. They have to come to Fukuoka. They have to come to Nagasaki, Kagoshima. Then students have to take on public transportation, bus, local train. They have to go to Oita Beppu. Then they had a discussion because students can learn what is the problem for them, international traveler. So the discussion was very fruitful. Chinese students can read Chinese character. So, but Westerners don't read Chinese character, so they really in trouble to get when they got on the bus, train. Even Japanese hotel or inn usually doesn't have Roman letters. That is why Chinese students told them, this hotel is our hotel. Then in Mount Aso area, some students cannot go to the crater, volcano, because there were no English signs. In Fukuoka city's transportation is very, very complicated. So after this student summit, Fukuoka's economic federation decide unify the bus price in Fukuoka. So Fukuoka's bus price was unified after this summit. Now Kumamoto city's tram is also unified. That is good, but very late. This is APU. So American professor here, like me today, and a student. And now group discussion they are doing. The good aspect and bad aspect of tourism. And the Beppu sponsored association had a gift for students, secret gift. That was Koizumi came. So this is the daily Yomiuri. Koizumi places importance of promotion of tourism. The student from the road are very surprised to see his face, very internationally famous face. So then the result of the discussion is that the sightseeing spot of Kyushu are first class. The student said that, concluded. Sightseeing spot of Kyushu is by first class, but overseas visitors are easy to lose the way. The biggest problem is lack of information both in English. This was held in 2005. I covered 40 years ago, 1980. Same situation. Newspaper's article doesn't have a power to change. Create a system that overseas visitors walk alone. This is the three biggest result of this World Student Summit. In the world, Chinese tourists was everywhere in Egypt. There are rapid increase of Chinese tourists like Japanese did during 1970s to 70s. However, 2013, Japan was not serious accepting inbound tourists. Japanese government is making effort, but Japanese stakeholders didn't make effort to accept inbound because it is troublesome to accept overseas tourists. There's a language problems. I don't speak English. It's very troublesome to translate. Japanese tourism industry. Japan has a big population, so Japanese tourists are enough for profit. This is a Yomiuri Shimbun 2013 August issue. 海外客は面倒だ。The main headline is it is troublesome to access overseas tourists. But Fukuoka prefecture's people began to move. Fukuoka's Transportation Ministry's Fukuoka branch organized a symposium on Kyushu tourism Fukuoka in Tenjin area. This is my byline article. Headline: Let's increase the number of overseas tourists in Kyushu. Displays the Ministry official said, Japan's population is decreasing and the number of domestic tourists is decreasing. Japan doesn't have new growth industries such as cars, electric appliances. Now China and Korea have big power about cars, electric appliances. They are very cheap. So Japan began to lose the power. So we need to encourage overseas people to enjoy local resources and culture. So Fukuoka is really making the effort to attract. This is the white paper of 2012. これは外国の観光客がどこの国一番行ってるかという、どこの国に一番行ってるかというランキングです。1位はフランスですね。Ranking based on number of foreign tourists accepted 2011. Next year white paper published, so this is 2011. Number 1 is France. すごい。7900万人ですね。79 million. China, 57 billion. Thailand, 19 million. Japan, only 6 million people. Rank 39th, very low. Now Japan's 2000. この辺です。2020, 2012, 2019, before COVID-19. この辺です、日本は今。So over 10 million visitors came to Japan. Tourism white paper of 2013. The number of tourists to house them was double. Why? The main reason is the weak yen, low price. The government has eased the visa insurance requirement. This is Assassin 2013. So government is making effort gradually. The government set a new goal. Japan accepts 40 million visitors by 2020. This is the Japan Times article. Tourism target is doubled. 40 million visitors sold by 2020. 2020, 40 million, but 2019, COVID-19, coronavirus happened. This chart is also interesting. 2003, Visit Japan campaign, yes. Japan campaign. Just only 6 million overseas tourists came to Japan. 2008, tourism agency started Lehman shock. And then 2011, Great East Japan earthquake. Japan achieved acceptance of 32 billion in 2019. 2019. すごい、rapid increasing that. The number of 2030,ゴールは60 million ですね。2020が4000万人はいかなかったけれども、3000万人ぐらい行ってますよね。で、before COVID-19, the target of the national government is that 2030は60 million です。60 million です。per year. So this is map also very interesting. The distance from Kumamoto to Tokyo, distance from Kumamoto to Shanghai, almost same. Japan's capital Tokyo is far away compared to Korea's capital. Seoul is much near Kumamoto. Seoul is like Nagoya. Busan is like Kobe. The foreign countries' main city is more near to Kumamoto and Fukuoka. Taiwan. It's 函館ぐらいです。台湾までの距離は函館ぐらいですね。So Kyushu, we think that the Kyushu is a small island, but Kyushu is actually not so small compared parts of the population. Sweden, 10 million population. Switzerland, 8.5 population. Finland, 5.5 million. Okay, Kyushu is 12 million. So Kyushu is not so small. Well, this is a very good autumn picture. I went to the 2014 Mount Aso north side, Kurokawa Onsen hot spring place. I went there with my wife, and I came across some of Asian tourists. Surprisingly enough, 2014, they traveling by car because the navigation, bilingual navigation was very useful for them. They rent a car in Fukuoka. They move around the Kyushu. So Kurokawa Hot Spring is, for example, if you read Lonely Planet, there are many good information about Kurokawa Onsen or TripAdvisor. These people are not Japanese. They are Chinese American people. They came from Fukuoka. And there is actually very discount bus between Fukuoka and Kurokawa Onsen. This is me. Backside is a very beautiful walking area. Walking course of Kurokawa Onsen in Aso. Yes, my close, and actually I had an interview with him. No, I didn't say that I'm a newspaper reporter. I didn't say that, but they are from Hong Kong. They are traveling by car. Since we had traveled to Japan, the mainland of Japan many times, we came to Kyushu. But traveling by a rental car with navigation. The scenery and the air are beautiful. The open air bus is fun. Japanese food is delicious, they said. と12、3枚ですかね。So in 2014, international students of HERO program researched Kumamoto City in our Kumamoto internship. And two HERO program students walk around Kumamoto City, and they said a good point was the Shinkansen Kumamoto station. The center of Kumamoto City tram, there are bilingual information. So it's a good point. On the other hand, cultural facilities, traditional craft museum, prefectural museum of art, bus stop, restaurant menu. It was very hard to find English translation. So they were very in trouble. This is, remember, 2014, about 9 years ago. When the city government set this kind of multilingual signs were installed. This is very good. But now, this board is getting very old, getting dirty at some point. Good and bad, good and bad. Okay. Bad news for Kumamoto. 2016, Kumamoto earthquake. Magnitude 7.3 attacked Kumamoto area. Okay. This news was became an international news. The New York Times reported on the front page story. And the inside also they reported about in detail. They also made a YouTube picture of Kumamoto earthquake, this international New York Times homepage. So, Philippines, Manila, Britain, Hong Kong's newspaper also a front page story. Thailand, are there any Thai students here? Oh yes, Bangkok Post. I have a friend in Bangkok Post. Bangkok Post. Kyushu Castle, Kumamoto Castle, will collapse. Yes. Bangkok Post, English newspapers. This is 2019 COVID-19. So, Japan's tourism from abroad exceeded 30 billion. This is a very good news for Japan, but COVID-19 happened. The next year, just 4 million. Japan's population is 125 million, please remember. Okay? So, but Japanese government keep this target, 60 billion, 2030. 2019, Sakuramachi Kumamoto opened. This is a very big news for Kumamoto. Connecting with Kumamoto Castle by the garden. Sakuramachi Kumamoto's page is set this way. So, this Sakuramachi Kumamoto is a very good information. Bilingual information. First time you can find English and Korean and Chinese character for Chinese people or Korean people and Westerners. On the second floor, there is a ticket vending machine. 5 languages are available. So this is also good, but only this terminus only. This is the picture that I took in front of Hotel Mikko, in front of Tsuruya department store. This was also, this kind of downtown has a very, this kind of bilingual information, so very good. So Kumamoto Airport also destroyed by the big earthquake in Kumamoto. So 2023 renewal of Aso Kumamoto Airport. This is a really good airport. Then Prime Minister Suga maintained the target of 60 million inbound. The Japan News, former Daily Univ, 22. Goal set for 60 million tourists in 2030. Also, we experienced very big tsunami and very big earthquake, but government didn't change the target. 2030, 60 million per year. Japan's population, this is the half of the Japan's population. So this is a really huge target. 2030, 6,000. So please look at these two charts, compare. 2011, Japan was very low, 32 or something. 39 is there. 39, only 39. Only 60 million overseas travelers came to Japan in 2011. But 2019, Japan up here. Japan ranked 12th in the world and third in Asia. Thai すごいね。タイランドすごい。ね、もっと上にありますね。タイ。China here. So anyway, Japan is making efforts to attract overseas tourism. テレビで「You はどこから日本に来たの?」っていう番組は知ってますか？ That kind of TV popular variety programs also cooperated with government to attract overseas people. Well, this spring I went to Tokyo, and very I was surprised to find a lot of overseas people. This is the東京の竹下通りに来ていますが、本当に外国人多いですね。かつての発祥が戻ってきています。Increasingly number of the overseas international people are walking in Takeshita Street. This is the Shibuya in front of Hachiko Square. Hachiko statue is a big statue. 前は外国の人でいっぱいです。次から次に写真を撮っています。この2つの場所に行ったことの話を聞いておいてください。Please raise your hand. Have you ever been there here? Hachiko or many. Okay. Okay. I studied in Tokyo at the Keio University 4 years, and I worked at the Kumamoto Daily Newspaper's Tokyo office about 5 years, and later 2 years. So in total, seven years as a reporter and 4 years as a student. But I never seen this kind of situation. I never seen this kind of lot of overseas people. So 40 years ago, I wrote many articles about the globalization about Kumamoto and Kyushu, but newspaper article didn't have a power, actually. Not only Kumamoto Daily Newspaper, also Japan Times, Asahi Shimbun, Nihon Keizai Shimbun also wrote about change Japan, more international city, but government, local government didn't. But this time, this wave is really big wave is coming. Sa, あと少しですね。So, Japan has good news about tourism these 2-3 years. Japan tops world tourism ranking despite COVID-19 restriction. Japan Times, Davos, Switzerland, Japan on Tuesday come out ranking highest on list of destination in 2021 travel and tourism ですね、書かれています。ジャパンランク、何が評価されたのか。ジャパンランク highly for its cultural resources and several infrastructure categories って書いてますね。何が良くなかったのか。エアポートトランスポートインフラクチャー。So, great number of international tourists will visit Japan from now on. And Kumamoto has a more good news for globalization. Taiwan's very huge semiconductor producing company decided to make Kumamoto factory. TSMC, Taiwan. Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company ですね、TSMC. This is a New York Times article. The New York Times article is very report about in detail. From Taiwan, about 750 workers and their family come to Kumamoto. They need over 1,000 rooms for living in Kumamoto. Rapid increase of overseas tourists and FC's Kumamoto factory will promote globalization of Kumamoto. 本当に熊本は国際化しなければならない。Whether Kumamoto like or not, we have to be globalized. I'm really happy to see this situation, but it took 40 years to see this global Kumamoto. Okay? So today's lecture's point is the world has entered an era of great tourism. The world must be prepared to coexist with the coronavirus. What should Japan, Kyushu, and Kumamoto do? This is the today discussion theme. Okay? It is necessary to create an environment where overseas visitors can travel and walk alone. So last slide. 40 years have passed since this article, but こうなってますね。Please compare these old, many years ago, the overseas people pointed out the problem in Kumamoto 40 years, has something changed. Yes. Okay, so take a break. And 5 minutes later, shall we have start the discussion, okay?